but I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until
Good evening. Welcome to the 41st Breakfast Ball. I guess, Richie, this would be our fireside chats, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. And good morning to you guys.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. We're this first one we've ever done in the evening. So, yeah, God bless you. We're now doing fireside chats for the Breakfast Ball. I am your host, Bob Cardia. To my left, to your right, the dashing Richie Stoltz. So tonight we're talking about the is golf and life. Golf is hard, life is hard. And I want to talk about some undeniable truths that Richie and I have come across and things that we've learned that hopefully you can implement in your life to make you mentally tougher going forward. So, first thing, it's a matrix that they use in determining how hard a sport is mentally.
Mhm.
And I think I mentioned it in an episode before, but they say that in tennis, for example, that 25% of the time you're actually engaged in hitting the ball.
Mhm.
And in golf, it's a little over 1% of the time. So you have all kinds of crazy mad downtime in golf, and as you do in life. So um, let me ask you, Richie, because Richie, All American, course record holder, club champion at multiple clubs, um, life and in golf, because we're going to get to Rotella in a minute. Is there anything that helps keep you focused with the amazing amount of downtime you have in the game of golf or in life?
Yeah, goal setting. Goal setting is probably the biggest one because I've noticed myself specifically, if I don't have a goal set or if I don't have, say, a tournament coming up or whatever it might be, I'm not focused. So I need something that I'm working towards or else I can lose that focus quite quickly. So I always need something that I'm working towards, whether it's a goal, whether it's a tournament, whether it's whatever it might be. I
Yeah.
need something to work towards.
Yeah, and I know you and I've talked about in your career short-term goals and long-term goals.
Yes.
And you put them both together, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
winner.
I love when I set my short-term goals. Obviously, I set my short-term goals so that if I reach the short term, I hit the long term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You set yourself up for success, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we talk about Rotella a lot, and Rotella talks about um, golf is not a game of perfect. Probably the biggest selling golf psychology book that I'm aware of. And then
It's true.
yeah, it's a great book. Yeah, all right. All right. And then he wrote a book after that called Life is Not a Game of Perfect. And he drew the parallel between golf and life. And I absolutely loved it because, you know, it, golf is a great metaphor for life for sure. So he says something in there about everybody has an innate talent. It's built into all of us. And he said it's basically free will. So, free will, you are in charge of your own fate. And like anything, we talk all the time. I got a call from one of my players last night that we had a captain's practice, right?
Hmm.
So, no coaches. The kid just went out and played. And one of our recruits, he struggled.
Hmm.
Now, this was his first time playing at this level, and he called me and said, what can I do to improve my mental game? And I'm like, you don't understand. I've been doing this so long. Okay, thinking well is an acquired talent. Like you're not going to go out your first day and put up the number. Okay, but if you stay engaged, stay mentally tough, and work going forward, you'll have that ability. And I'm hoping he buys it because it's absolutely true. I sent him a text this morning. The kid has all kinds of talent, and I know the family. I'm I'm saying right now he's going to be fine.
Hmm.
And he's just got to believe he's going to be fine. So I think you and I are in a unique position, don't you? Like I know, and we'll talk about you in a second. I'll talk about me for 1 second. Like my father was a professional motivational speaker, right? Um, I have dealt with world-class athletes. Guys I know like Zach went to the U.S. Amateur final. You're an All-American. I even coached Jalen Brunson when he was a kid. Like I've got to hang around with a lot of people um, that have done really well in athletics. So I think I have a great unique perspective, and then my own personal struggles because my golf career ended reasonably, 15 years ago or so, when I had four fused vertebrae in my neck, and I love reading about how the mental dynamic because I still want to compete a little bit, and I still want to keep my toe in the water.
Hmm.
Learning how to control this is I think the fundamental key to it. So anyway, I'm going to go through my 5 undeniable truths that I've learned in my life. But before I do that, I'm dying to hear, because you and I, we didn't discuss it at all before this. So I asked Richie, what is 1 or 2 or 3 undeniable truths that you faced or know in your career and in your life?
Yeah, one that I've always had is, if you don't outwork me, you can't beat me.
Yeah.
Because that's one I gotta say I've always lived by, and I've always stuck with, is if you don't outwork me, it's game over. You don't have a shot. Um, yeah, that's
Which is true. And let me tell you, I know I've known Richie quite a long time. He came to me from Methodist, but Richie's stories are, when he was in high school, like for all you parents out there that have high school players or college players, how many do you know that would get way up before school, drive to a practice facility and practice an hour or two before high school started, right? If you have that kind of mentality, which Richie has, yeah, like it's like Gary Player said. I'm sure somebody else said it, but Gary Player said, "Oh, everybody says I'm lucky," but he said, it's funny. The harder I work, the luckier I seem to get.
yeah.
Yeah, which is great. But so I've come up with 5, and I'm thrilled Richie's here tonight because he was sick the other day. I'm thinking, what are we going to do without the Dashing Richie Stoltz?
I know,
But
for 2 weeks in a row.
I know, right? Come on. So I wrote down my 5 undeniables. One, and we discussed this, you don't fail. When you play for me or I coach you, you either win or you learn. Okay, and if you consider yourself not winning a failure, okay, if you don't learn something from it, yeah, it's a failure. But that's not what we do.
Yep.
Okay, we win or we learn. 2, dance like there's nobody watching. Had a husband and wife today taking golf lessons, and the wife's like, I feel so silly, I feel so stupid. I'm like, why? Like, is there anything else in life that you would do? Like, if I took up the guitar and never picked a guitar in my life and had my second lesson, go, I feel stupid, I can't do this. No, right? Everything that has a fine motor skill takes time.
Yep.
And you get that all the time too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Some people think you just pick up a golf club. How hard could it be? You hitting the ball with a stick, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. 3, there are no overachievers, and like Rotella says, right? This is Rotella also. Your life is in your hands, right? Whether you get 10% out of your life, whether you get 40% out of your life, whether you get 90% out of your life, nobody gets 100. But it's up to you. If you set yourself up like Richie does, right? Don't outwork them. If you set yourself up for success, right? That is a great way to go about life. 4, what makes anybody better than you? I had that epiphany, God, and how long ago? I can remember it like it was almost yesterday. I was sitting in the back of my truck, and we were talking. My friends and I were all talking about this so and so and so and so people we knew. Like they had this component, they had that component, and they were sharing their ideas. And I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with their ideas. And I'm thinking, well, what makes their opinion better than my opinion, right? Now, my last undeniable truth, and I want Richie's comment on this one. If you're waiting for the right time, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life. And let me tell you, my buddy Hammer, who was a guest on this show, he just bought a company, and he's going to be marketing. We'll have him on as a guest, marketing his new product coming forward. And most guys that when they've done as well as he has in his career, would just settle for the 401, okay, the pension, look forward to retiring. No, just like we're doing with our new product coming out, we're launching something new. And a conversation that, and I hope she doesn't mind. Amanda, I hope you don't mind. Richie said to me the other day, Amanda, has dreams and aspirations one day of maybe opening her own coffee shop. And Richie's like, what do you think? And what did I say?
I forget exactly what you said.
I said I think it's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had a full discussion that day, so
Yes.
I kind of forgot, but
Yeah.
I did say when I saw her that you thought it was a great idea.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe you said something else besides just that. But
No, the question that I think when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, don't tell me I can't do something.
Yeah.
What do I have to do to get something done? It's a whole different way of thinking.
Yeah.
Hey, Richie, you can't buy that car. What do I have to do to be able to buy that car?
Mhm.
And that is, you can't play on tour. What do I have to do to be able to play on tour?
Mhm.
If that's your attitude, if that's how you think, you know what? You're way better than anybody else is. Because if you have that innate belief in yourself, right? If you follow my 5 fundamental truths and Richie's fundamental truth, 6.
We can count.
I know. Well, barely, but yeah.
Yeah, that counts for something.
It does count for some. It does count for some. But anyway, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe. We've now, thank you folks out there, because we're meteorically, we've picked up almost like 130 subscribers in the past few weeks.
Yeah.
That magic number of 500 that we were talking about getting to, we're going to get there, and I'm thinking now we can get to that 1,000 number by the end of the year, which
Yeah.
would be ideal, and it's thanks to you guys. But again, the podcast, right? I turned to Richie and Mary months ago and I said, let's do a podcast. I didn't know anything about it. I rely upon the fact that Richie knows more about technology than I do.
I knew nothing about it.
Yeah, but we
I
bought cameras, a microphone. We're sitting in front of a fire now talking about what we know works. So
Mhm.
also, real quick, if you comment, I love the breakfast ball, free gift card for one of the top 10 people. We draw that out of a hat. But the new store is open, and if you want to come and buy some merchandise, I got to pick up the merchandise this week because I got stuff for us.
Mhm.
But anyway, what final thoughts, Richie? Go.
Final thoughts. This is the first time you guys are seeing me with a haircut.
Ooh.
With a haircut and a
Yeah.
shave.
By the way, this is the dashing Richie Stoltz. He doesn't look like the Gordon's fisherman. He doesn't have the hat on. I know, but yeah, he has hair. How about that? Let's go. Anyway,
Crazy.
Final thoughts. Anything?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, in that case, guys, keep watching, keep subscribing. We love you. Have a great week, and I love the breakfast ball.
Glass of bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. Alcohol. Because no great story ever started with, I'll have a salad.